Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new chess video. Today I'm bringing you one of those traps that you like so much and ask for so often. A trap that will make your opponent suffer a lot and also let you win in just a few moves. On top of that, we'll do it with the black pieces, since you always ask me, please chess teacher, show me a super powerful trap with the black pieces. As if that weren't enough, you can play this trap when they play e4, the king's pawn. But you can also play it when they play d4, the queen's pawn. What does that mean? That you can use this trap in 99% of your games, because they always start like that. So let's explain it. Let's start, for example, with the king's pawn, e4. Then we are going to respond with the move knight f6. This is called the Alekhine defense. We're attacking this pawn right here from the start. The thing is, it has a problem. Since we don't have this pawn blocking the opponent's pawn, now when we bring out the knight, they can attack it directly. But that's not a problem, because we know the trap. We have to place the knight next to the pawn, and it's now where they can play d4 and have an excellent pawn center. Here, the main move of the Alekhine defense would be to play d6. But we love finding traps that go a bit off the main line to catch our opponents totally. I'll start, and we're going to play the move b5. Look at what a strange move. Besides looking like such a bad move, we're giving away this pawn. Look, they could capture it while developing the bishop. Therefore, it would be very strange if they didn't capture this pawn. First of all, let's see what happens if they capture it. What is the idea behind this move? So they can't play c4 to attack this knight. Here, if we play d6, they can directly attack this knight. So we play b5. Of course, we give away the pawn. And now what? Well, here we gain a brutal counterattack. What we're going to do, remember, is play c5. Place this pawn here to gain a little bit of space. Many people are going to fall for the first trap of this opening right here. What is this trap? Notice they've already taken a pawn. Many might think, this guy is terrible. I'll finish him off quickly. I'll take this pawn and I'm already up 2 pawns. This would already be a huge mistake, since we have the move queen a5, check. And besides, we're going to capture the bishop on the next move. You have to be very careful in this opening with queen f5 moves, because it doesn't just happen in this trap, but it will happen many times during the opening. Look, let's analyze the situation a bit. We're giving check, so the opponent would have to block here, right? But we're also attacking this bishop, so we're winning a piece. However, they are also attacking one of our pieces. So if we take the bishop, our opponent might take our knight while attacking the rook. Look. And here, the opponent might be interested in entering this situation. However, we don't have to worry about that. Because of that, since we're still winning, pay attention to what we have to do. We're definitely going to play queen to a 5 check, attacking the bishop. And let's see what our opponent does. In case they block with a knight, we just trade here and it would be the easiest thing in the world, because now we do capture and our opponent doesn't get the piece back. Therefore, if they block with the knight, they're totally lost. Now, they don't have to block with the knight, and they can make the good move here, which would be c3, but we'll still win anyway. Don't worry, we'll still win anyway. Why? Because now we're going to do the following. They block with c3. What are we going to do? Take the bishop. What are they going to do? Obviously, they'll take the knight, otherwise they're really lost. Now, they still have 2 extra pawns, right? Because we've taken a piece and so have they. But we have the move bishop to b7, protected by the queen, attacking this queen, but with x-rays, and even more importantly, attacking this point on g2, which is completely unprotected. Therefore, when this queen moves, wherever it moves, it doesn't matter, we're gonna capture this pawn here, look, and we're gonna win the rook on the next move. It's true, now we're down a pawn, but look, we've already won the rook on the next move. Here, things can even get worse, because many people want to attack your queen, right? They think, if you attack my rook, I'll attack your queen. But this is even worse, because it even lets us in with the queen. Here, right in the king's face, this king can only move here, he's lost the right to castle, this bishop won't be able to get out, we're winning material because on the next move we take here. This knight now can't get out through here because we'll take it, nor through here because we'll take it would have to come out through here. And look at this position. We have a rook advantage, and also notice that the king is right here in the middle. He can't castle. And on top of that, he's blocking the pieces. Look how this trap starts off great, but watch out because it gets even better. Now we're going to see how to reach the same position, but if instead of playing e4, they play d4. You can reach the same position as I told you at the beginning of a video, so you'll be able to use it a lot. If you're enjoying this video, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I have a trap prepared with the white pieces that's gonna blow your mind. So let's do a challenge. If we reach 400 likes, I know, it's a lot, but if we reach 400 likes, I'm gonna upload that video of the trap. You're really gonna love it and you're gonna use it in many games, so it's in your hands. If we reach 400 likes, I'll upload it. Now then, how do we reach this position with the black pieces if they play d4? Look how interesting. We're going to play b5 directly, a super strange move. Here, your opponent is already going to think you're a pretty bad player. But hey, it's okay. What's the best reaction for white here? I'll play e4. Why? To take the center and also attack this pawn right here. We, as you know, will play knight f6. If they decide to capture this pawn here, we would capture the pawn on e4. And what would have happened here? Well, we'd have a favorable trade since we gave up a queenside pawn of very little value compared to the king's central pawn, so we'd already be better off. However, here the white pieces might think, first I'll kick out the knight, and now when the knight moves, then I'll eat the pawn, and if you notice, we're in exactly the same position. What would be next? Well, the same as in the first variation, play c5 to break the center. We've seen that capturing would be a huge mistake because of queen a5, but here many people might think, okay, he's already seeing queen f5, so what I'll do is protect both things. I protect the pawn and I protect the queen's entry. But simply, what are we going to do here? Pawn takes pawn, and when they recapture, now simply queen f5 check and we're in the same spot. And now even better, because this pawn is blocking the queen and she couldn't recapture the knight. So whatever they do, if they attack us here, we'll take the bishop. If they cover with the queen, we won't trade queens, obviously, we'll also take the bishop. And if they cover with the knight, what will we have to do? Well, obviously not take because it's protected, but first we trade the knight and now we calmly take the bishop. Notice that in 5 or 6 moves, we're already winning a piece. I mean, you have no idea how many games I've won with this trap. But wait, that's not all. Oops, choking. That's not all. There's still more. So remember, well, knight f6 attacking the pawn. When they attack us, we move it here. d4 now. We play our b5. If they play d4, you do it the other way. No problem at all. Bishop takes, we play c5, and we've seen that so many people fell for it. Even grandmasters on pawn takes pawn. Or even on c3. We know how to punish both of them. But what happens if they play c4? They're directly attacking this knight. Well, we're gonna give it away. Mind you, first of all, you know it's in your hands. Let's see if you make me very happy. And we reach 400 likes, or let's see if we reach many more. I'll be super happy because I really want to show you that trap I have in mind. Wait a minute, what do you mean we give away the knight, chess teacher? Have you gone crazy? Yes, I've gone crazy, you already know that. But this works, and if not, try it in your games and then tell me. Look, see? We take here, giving away the knight. How can that be? Well, why? Because when we give away the knight, we have queen a5 check available again, and we'll take the bishop. And not only that, but we'll be left with a much better position. Now we're no longer down any pawns, however, we have a much more incredible position. For example, when they block the check, we take the bishop, and look, we attack the center pawn. We attack this pawn here. This position is terrible for white. I mean, we've ended up in a much better spot. These pawns are going to fall. This pawn might fall too, they just can't defend everything. It's a position that's going to collapse under its own weight. Look at what an incredible trap. A brutal detail here that will win you many, many games. Check this out, okay? When we play c5 and they play c4, as we've seen so far, we said we give up the knight and we take here. However, many people will say, okay, I won't take here, because then queen a5 would come and they'd win the bishop. Therefore, what I'm going to do is take here with the queen. A much better move for white. However, we have another recipe to blow up the position. Look, okay, this video is a gold mine, really. If you learn it well and study it well, you're gonna win a lot of games, okay? That's why I insist on the likes, luck. Here, we can't play through here. It wouldn't seem like a very good idea because this is still defended, right? But what happens? Well, we have this incredible move. What are we threatening now? I assume you're all seeing it. We're threatening to jump here, check. Double and triple. Therefore, they'd have to resign here. How can the white pieces cover the square naturally? Well, for example, with the knight through here, a very normal move here would be a6 to kick this bishop out and stay a little bit better. However, we have the move queen a5 again to make discovered checks. Right now, we're threatening to move this knight here or there, giving check and winning material, a lot of material. Therefore, what could be a very natural move for white here? Obviously bishop d2, right? Supernatural. Not only is the pin avoided, but now he's the one pinning us. But come on, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds here to think of an incredible bombshell. Let's go. There it is, so the incredible move here is queen takes knight, sacrificing the queen. We're eliminating the defender, and now, when they capture us, now we've got it, we don't have the knight covering us. Look at that incredible triple check. We're gonna win the queen next move, we threaten this bishop, the king can't castle, and we're much better off. Therefore, we also end up with an extra piece. Look, 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2, 3, 4, they've fallen into our trap again. And wait, the best part is still coming. Well, here we have to be careful with one move, and that's them bringing the bishop back to c4 to prevent all these check themes. But now I'm going to show you how to win when they play bishop c4, which seems to be the best move. They're just attacking our knight? Yes, well, we're going to give it away anyway, and we don't have to be afraid of them taking it. Why? Because of the same old tactic. You know, when you play this opening, keep in mind that you always have, or usually have, the move queen a5 check available and will win back material. Here, a logical move, right? Bishop d2 to block the check, we take the bishop, and notice that now we're much better off than white. First, we've broken this whole strong pawn center that the white pieces had. Second, we've eliminated the bishop pair. Third, we're attacking the e5 point, and we're also attacking this g2 point. So it seems there's only one way to defend them, right? Which would be knight f3. They defend this one and they defend this one. But we can continue with the move bishop a6, completely cutting off the castling. And now, the white pieces are in serious trouble. Look, I checked the most common move for white here, and it was c3. And notice we win instantly. Practically no matter what they do, we've won, right? But if they even make a move like c3, not sensing the threat, queen e4 check. And now, what does white do? They can't do anything. The king can't move because it's cut off by the bishop. They'd have to sacrifice material to keep the game going, and that's more than one. Look, with the queen, it would be checkmate, so they'd have to sacrifice the bishop, and this is already more than one. We take here, we're threatening to take here, with the double check, this is more than one. We've seen that by retreating, we give away the knight, and we take here. However, here the white pieces have a winning move, practically impossible to find. However, if they find it, we have to be prepared, right? They're not going to find it, I'm telling you right now. But if they find it, what happens? Look at the move. Knight c3. Giving away the knight for the pawn. What a weird move. Sure, and they think, if I take here, and then I'm fine. It's a good move. However, very hard to find. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take the knight. And we're going to get into the game. Bishop takes knight. And now what? They're threatening our rook. Notice that simply, now we have the move, queen f5. As always, we're attacking here, they can take our rook. Notice that if they take here, check here, and here, so we'll be very well off if they take the pawn. But of course, the interesting thing here is what happens if they take our rook, right? Sure, we're ending up with one less rook. Well, here, look at what an interesting move. Pawn takes pawn, check. We threaten the rook and we threaten the bishop. They cover, and now we don't promote, because if we promote, they can take our queens. What we're going to do is take this pawn with check first, And now, when they cover, what are we going to do? Well, capture the rook. And what do you say, Stitcher? What do you say? That you have a queen for me? Well, give me the queen, because I promote two queens. Check. Look, this is totally one. Plus, they defend each other. And here it would be, in this case, checkmate, because if they move back, checkmate. Therefore, here we're completely winning. Look what a incredible line to finish them off. If they find the right move, most fall into this line. Hope you loved this video. Stitcher says we'll reach 400 likes, so hit it hard. Leave a comment and I'll read it. And if you subscribe, you'll see my daily videos. Thanks so much and see you in the next video, friends. Bye!